You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio, Scottsdale, Arizona, with Randy Angston. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Good weekend?
Yeah.
Did get some sun?
I did get some sun. A lot of friends and family in town, so
Greased up out by
the
pool?
Yeah. Ooh, yep. Of course. I mean, it's Arizona. It's 105. What else do you do?
Get a little greasy.
Drop in the pool and get some sun.
I'm getting a pool built, maybe. Waiting on some revised pricing. I had no idea how much a pool cost. You know, they always say buy a house that has a pool already.
Sure.
Because you don't win on the deal.
And the build out.
I've talked to 5 pool builders and nobody's come in under 50,000. I was like, some were 75. Like, what do you? I have a tiny little backyard. What do you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild. So hey guys, quick pro tip: if you're gonna buy a home, buy a house with the pool already in it. But the good news is in Arizona, you can use that thing all year round.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I just got a heater for mine. That'll be plumbed in soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting priced out as a heater or a spa. What do you think? A spa or a heated pool?
With your size,
yeah,
it wouldn't take. I mean, you literally could flip a switch.
Yeah, you said 3 hours.
At most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's comparable to one of my buddies, like, right up the street from me.
So
and we
go
left
with the pool instead of the jacuzzi with the jets and stuff?
I mean,
it's about $18,000 more with the spa.
I believe it. But at the same time,
like,
where are you going to spend your time?
Okay, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
It's a return on investment, guys. Well, even the pool buy has to be a logical.
Has to make sense, yeah. I mean, if we're going to live in that house for a long time, then we should probably make it the way we want it.
You know what's really funny? Like, just to speak to that, because I use that type of thought process all of the time. Like, I always have really like quality headphones. There's certain things I always pay for. And people are like, why do you have to have something that's, so expensive and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I have my headphones on 2 hours a day at minimum,
right?
Almost every day for the gym. My calls, like there was times where I spent 6 or 7 hours a day in that pair of headphones.
So it makes sense.
The cost versus the usage was minimal compared to some of the other things that we spend money on,
Sure.
So I value the amount of time and what I invested in that to get a return. But I do that in every single buying choice.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Right? But somebody told me years ago, like, if you're not willing to pay 5x what that thing's cost is today for having it 5 years down the road, it's not worth the investment as well. Simple things, like just everyday stuff that we buy. We accumulate shit all the time. Do we need it? Sometimes no. But it's an easy way for me to cut down spending on other things.
Yeah.
Because I don't value.
You know what's funny? The difference between men and women in shopping is women will buy something because it's on sale, even if they don't need it. And men will buy something for more than it's worth because
of the need. Because of the need. Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's so true, though.
Like they're buying, my wife buys stuff because it's on sale. Like, do we need it? Well, it was on sale.
We could. Yeah,
but it was on sale. That's the justification. It was on sale. So psychology, guys, there's a little difference in men and women right there. All right, so we got a good show today. Before we get started, guys, we're getting a lot of calls lately in regards to business model. What do we do coming out of the COVID situation and the CrossFit changeover? And a lot of the guys are de-affiliating, which we have an amazing next show planned already. We got some CrossFit studios that ended up de-affiliating. We're going to have a nice chat with them on the next show. But the calls are coming in, guys. If you need help to navigate this is something we've done over and over, is to change business models around, change staffing plans, changing pricing structure. If you want somebody to hold your hand, put their hand around your shoulder and just kind of guide you along the way, this is the perfect time. We just finished up with our last coaching group. We have openings again. If you're interested and you want to chat about that, go to pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. There's a little form you fill out, and then you'll have a call with Randy, and Randy will go over everything with you on that call.
And just something I want to add to that is, yes, we're going to get into the business. We're going to get deep into what it's going to take to actually change your day-to-day experience. The majority of gym owners that we work with are unhappy for some reason, right? You're showing up for work, you're grinding, you're doing everything that you're pouring into your business, but you don't see the return. And ultimately what it equates to is not dollars and cents in the bank or time freedom. And that's really the two things that we want to focus on, is helping gym owners create a system-dependent business, profitable, focus on profitability, and then be able to decide how much time you want to be in that business. And Our coaching program is specifically designed to help do that
Perfect.
for you. And so I just know that there's a lot of like confusion. What is it? Is it just like a mentorship program? Is it, and so just to get that out there, like we're going to work with you. It's going to be your goals, your specifics. We have a roadmap to get you to those places, but we need to know where you want to go first.
Perfect. Yep. So jump on a call if you want to jump into the coaching program. We got some spots now open. So this show, we wanted to talk about what could happen, and not to scare anybody, but this is being realistic and logical. There is a possibility down the road when you reopen that one of your coaches or one of your clients ends up testing positive for COVID. Not anything we want to think about, not anything we want to talk about, because it could bring catastrophe to your business. So, a lot of gyms are opening up again, state by state. Their numbers are now, in Arizona, they're going crazy through the roof. We're making national headlines about how irresponsible Arizonans are and not wearing masks and stuff. And people are starting to get freaky. They're freaking out again. Even our clients are starting to ease back and like kind of waiting and see. And so it's kind of this uneasy feeling. But then in the back of my head, and I was talking to Zach about this specific thing, what would we do if a coach came down with it? And you better have a plan. So we started our plan today. We were just excited to open, and now we got to really think about what could happen. So, here, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do. Here's what we're thinking about doing, but this is just to get your gears turning in a situation so you are prepared if it were to happen, because the way you handle it, and we're going to talk about an example of a restaurant in town that this is happening to right now. The way you handle it is going to be the success or failure of your business. It could collapse your entire business.
Absolutely.
I could see that happening. So here recently over the weekend, a big story came out, and there was like a list of I think 6 restaurants in Arizona that employees have come down with COVID-19, and some handled it well, and some really dropped the ball. One example is a mom and pop restaurant where one of the wait staff ended up coming down with COVID, and the owner made an announcement, shut the place down immediately. He basically cleared his whole staff out. He's doing it himself. He's cooking it, and he's only doing takeout again. And he said it's the right thing for him to do. He doesn't want to, I guess, expose anybody else. Expose anybody else to it. So he took it, and he went live, and he went and kind of like took it bull by the horns, and he said, "This is what I'm going to do."
Extreme accountability.
And I think he's going to survive. For the other side of the coin was there was a sports bar out here. I don't want to name any names, but they had I think 5 or 6 staff came down with.
Yeah, I didn't hear the total numbers, but I know
COVID spread around the kitchen, it spread around the wait staff, and all of a sudden 5 or 6 employees came down with it, and the business owner refused to close down. In fact, he just sent the infected employees home and basically just brought in new staff and replaced them and brought them in from other locations, and status quo. Nothing happened here.
Yeah.
And he's getting absolutely lambasted. He's getting blasted on the news. People are sending him bad reviews and just getting crushed.
Yeah, and there's 2 kind of arguments to that conversation, right? There's the risk that you're actually putting people in, and that's obviously got to be, you have to consider that a real circumstance, like you have to give that credibility. The other half is a perception of the marketplace and how you handle that first half. And that's the one that's going to make or break the business probably more than the first half.
Yeah.
Is what decisions and what actions did you take to prevent this from becoming worse than it is, or exposing additional individuals, your clients and the people you're trying to take care of, in a business. And that's the big deciding factor between these 2 businesses, right? I'm sure people are still going to support the guy who decided, let me do everything I can to prevent, the spread of this. Take control myself, still provide a service if possible, but do it safely. And the other ones are
So what happens if? So there's two situations. What happens if a member gets it, and what happens if a staff person gets it? 2 different scenarios. I think you're in a better situation if a client catches it versus a coach or a staff member, and let's explain why. If a member gets calls you and says, hey, I'm not feeling well, I'm staying home, I got tested, whatever, and they come back as positive, a couple things need to happen. Number one, you need to let everybody know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just have to let everybody know. And this is where it's going to get, some gyms are going to do it some way and some are going to do it another way. Do you shut the gym down and clean and, let things blow over for a couple days, a week, 14 days? What do you do? So I think if it's a member, I don't think, obviously they were in for that 1 hour. They trained with those people, and maybe you notified those people and anybody else that was in around that time.
Sure.
And what happens with your staff? You got to go everybody's got to get tested, and it's just this big pain in the ass. It really is. But I think the way you handle it is you let everybody know. Yeah. And you should have an action plan. So I think what you do, again, here's me trying to work this out in my own head. But I think I think we would shut down for a week. We'd have to bring in a professional cleaning company, probably spend $2,000, $3,000 to do a deep fog and a deep clean and all this stuff to give the impression of whether or not if the place is clean or not. So you got to make sure that the place is clean and everybody knows it, and you got to tell everybody that that's exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
So
Transparency.
If a coach gets it, I think you're really screwed, because that coach trained all day, trained multiple people during that hour or those hours throughout the day, and you have to shut down. There's no question. Whereas the member, you might shut down, you might not. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'm working in this out with the team, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the best approach. Obviously everybody needs to get tested. I think your clients should probably go get tested, and then everybody's kind of got to report back like, hey, I'm clear. I have it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But we're talking catastrophe. It could happen.
Yeah, it absolutely could. And it's been going on for months now, right?
Right.
And I can't imagine. I'm running through this.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, exactly. And there are 100 ways you can go about certain things, right? And all the different variables. But I think transparency, leading with it, being honest, upfront, fast. Speed is going to be the biggest thing. This can't be something you find out one day. Your decision has to be done before the next person enters that business, or the next day of business.
Yep.
It's not something that you could just. You can't put a couple hundred people through another business
let's just say you found out around 10 in the morning. I think you shut down that day.
Exactly.
At 11, you're done.
Yeah.
Shut down after that hour, and I think action plan needs to happen. So the cleaners need to be on standby. You think you need to have maybe a boilerplated email ready to go, and Facebook Live, and some actual physical calls need to happen. And then you got to maybe give everybody the address of the nearest testing facility.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think nothing to worry about, just in case kind of thing. But man, what nobody teaches you this stuff in business. This isn't anything that you're gonna nobody's gone through this anyway. But you got to be aware of this is all potential. Let's hope and pray that nobody ever has to go through this. But odds are, somebody listening is going to have to go through this exact thing.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not us. Knock on this wood table, this 100-year-old barman here that killing me.
Hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, but somebody listening to this show is going to have to go through this exact thing. And when they do, it's how that gym is transparent, how they communicate, and what the protocols are. So here is your warning right now on June whatever. Put a plan in place.
Yep.
If a client catches it, and if a coach catches it, and let's just hope they don't, but if they do, here's the plan of attack. And they may be the same plan, but if you're going to do one plan for both, it needs to be the more stringent one, the more
all-encompassing. Yeah. In the side of caution, right? Yeah, you can't. This is something that when it presents itself and there's evidence of it and stuff, you just can't neglect. And your business you're going to throw it all away if you do.
Yeah, if you neglect it and just ignore it, like the sports bar.
I'm baffled at the way that they handled this, and it's a local name. This is a, for those in the area, you probably know who we're talking about because you probably heard the story ourselves. But I agree, I'm not trying to throw shade towards them, but that's going to resonate. That is going to impact their business across
Well,
board.
let's just say it's a local gym and it's one location. They're going to get blasted just as hard in the news.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be newsworthy.
Well, it's happened. I mean, not to our demographic and like our clients or anything like that, but I mean, I know that there has been gyms that have reported, and how they go about it. I mean, in the vast array of the types of training and gyms that are listening. What if it's a 24-hour access gym? And now that is entirely different than the control of what you guys have here.
Yeah.
You don't know necessarily what hour, who they were in contact with.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different variables, but it all comes back to being prepared, ready, taking this serious, and having a game plan.
Yeah. I think in any situation, a shutdown has to happen.
Absolutely.
I think you've got to shut down for at least a week, if not 2. Like, I hate to say that, but you will lose clients. People will go on freeze, but at the end of the day, I think people are going to appreciate the going above and beyond of what you do is going to make all the difference. You can get them all back, or you can lose everybody.
And that's what everybody has to put their trust in other business owners at this point right now. I mean, it's inevitable, right? You some form of shopping is going to get done. The gym, if you can, as part of your life. You go into work if you're back in the office. Like, there are so many different things. I mean, we're exposed. The gas stations. Have you thought about this one?
What's that? They've never shut down.
Go to a gas station. Every single person's touching the same pumps.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person. When was that ever brought into consideration? Like, that was one that just dawned on me the other day. I'm like, people fill their cars a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Everybody is doing this.
Handle.
Everybody is doing it.
Unless you have diesel.
Yeah,
And
no, then
then
you're waiting for everybody else for your one pump.
So, guys, something to think about. I don't want to bring doom and gloom because that's not what we're about. We're about positivity and looking towards, growth and everything. But this is just a word of caution and being prepared more than anything else.
Absolutely. Imagine not hearing this and then also experiencing it and then having to figure 100% of this out.
So put the plan in place. You'll be okay. Let's just hope you don't have to deal with it, but at least you have the plan in place, like an insurance policy, and get all your team on board and get your cleaners on standby, and everybody knows the drill. It's like a fire drill.
Yeah.
And take it from there. But hopefully that helps, get you planned out in advance. And thank you guys for the comments. We're getting some good comments on our YouTube channel and reviews. So, if any of these, here's what I ask, as this episode's wrapping up now, here's what I ask of everybody. If you could do a couple things for us. If you enjoy this show, like if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. But if you enjoy the show and you've learned something, we would love a review. A review tells the, platforms that we're relevant and, helps us get more podcast listeners. And it's really what we're trying to do here, right? So trying to get the word out. Also, share this with a friend, right? Share it with another business owner that is a gym owner, or if not, just any business owner I think could benefit from some of this stuff. Like this episode right now could benefit just about any business right now. So, give us a little review on iTunes. That's really the most important one. I guess there's other ones that you could do reviews on, but and then share this with somebody. That would really help us, and we would appreciate that. Getting the word out. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, guys, until next episode, which will be the CrossFit episode. Can't wait for that one. That'll be a good one. But until next episode, guys, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye.